Xbox and Sega have been in the rumor mill for a while now. The rumors continue to swirl around about an acquisition or potentially a partnership between the two companies. And it seems like the rumor is coming up again, but this time it involves another company in the mix. I think for a lot of people, it makes a lot of sense, and it is a match made in heaven for Xbox to do something with Sega, whether that is an acquisition or a partnership, because they have a great working relationship and they've had a relationship for a long time, dating all the way back to the Dreamcast days. And before we get into this any further, if you guys are new here and you enjoy what you see throughout this video, I'd really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button to help this channel grow and help grow this community so we can have some great conversations in the comments below. So the rumors are coming up again with Xbox and with Sega, and this is a report I saw here from notebookcheck.net, who is reporting about a rumor between Xbox, Konami, and Sega, and they are basing it off of this tweet here from Astle. And Astle has about 5,000 followers, and their account says here, Xbox fans and video games contents only. I honestly don't know much about Astle. Apparently they're a tech insider or a games insider or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. So I don't know how legitimate this person is, and I don't know what their track record is with getting stuff like this correct. But if you guys know, please let me know in the comments below. But with that being said, definitely take this with a grain of salt. It is just a rumor and just really fun to talk about and speculate about. But this is the tweet from Astle. It says hashtag Konami plus hashtag Sega equals hashtag Xbox, with the Japanese flag and the emoji and the picture Konami, Xbox, and Sega. And then under that, what if red Xbox controller representing Konami times the blue Xbox controller representing Sega. Now that in and of itself doesn't really say anything. It's really hard to read into what that means other than there could be news coming with these companies involved. But then Astle goes on to tweet this, and it is thanking Review Tech USA for talking about the rumor and using his tweet as reference to the rumor and saying, I have good reason for this tweet. All I can say is I'm confident about that rumor. So that kind of piques the interest more about what Astle is trying to tell everybody, and when will we find out if any of this stuff is true or not. Now for me personally, obviously I have no idea if this is true or not, or if this will ever happen, a partnership or acquisition between Xbox and Sega. But I do think that there is good reason to believe that Xbox is going to continue to try and acquire developers or publishers in Japan in order to try to break into that market further. Firstly, as we know, Xbox and Phil Spencer have said numerous times that they want to try to grow in Japan. I know for Phil Spencer, he has said it personally. You've seen him on videos, you see him tweet about Japan, and in interviews he's talked about really trying to get into the market in Japan and become a part of the consciousness of the gamers there. He says a couple of things that are interesting in this interview, saying, I also have an affinity for all the amazing creators that are in Japan, and I spend a lot of time there, and I want to make sure those creators see Xbox as a great place for those games. And he also says, I will say I don't think I'm going to go into Japan and outsell the Japanese console makers with Xbox. I would hope to, I would like to, but it's not in the plan that I've written down. But we're going to work really hard to have the best generation that we've ever had in Japan, and the same thing in Korea and China. And as we saw, the pre-orders sold out relatively fast for the Xbox Series X and S. I don't know how much that says, because who knows how much inventory all these stores actually had. It was still a very low number of the amount of the Xbox Series X and S that were actually sold in Japan. He says this, which I think is interesting, and I've mentioned this in other videos. So when I see things like the pre-orders going well, I want to be part of the gaming consciousness in Japan. Even if we don't win or whatever that means, I need to be part of the consciousness. So he really is emphasizing how important it is this generation for Xbox to gain some ground. He's tweeted stuff like this, like he's gone to Japan and he says, amazing week in Japan talking Xbox Series X, Xbox Game Pass, and Project X Cloud with publishers and studios. Played announced and unannounced games, talked E3 2020, and discussed gaming's future. Always come away motivated by the amazing creative talent here in Japan. And this was all the way back in January of 2020. So they've been really thinking about this stuff for a pretty long time, trying to increase their market there with the launch of the Xbox Series X and S, with Xbox Game Pass, and with Xbox X Cloud. Secondly, Xbox has a big opportunity to gain market share simply through Xbox Game Pass and through X Cloud. As we know, in Japan, gamers there love their handhelds, and we've seen with the Nintendo Switch just how well that console slash handheld has sold. And I think one of the big reasons for that is because of its portability and being able to play games on the go. With xCloud, it's going to be even easier for gamers just having your phone and being able to stream games right to your phone. And potentially if you want connecting a controller, some games also have touch controls, and that mobile market they're going to be able to tap into with Xbox Game Pass and xCloud. The problem there is they need to have games on the service that Japanese gamers want to play, and acquiring a company like Sega and Konami, or either or, is a big thing and will definitely bring games over to the service the Japanese gamers are going to want to check out. And thirdly, we look back at Bethesda, the roundtable. They introduced all the developers, and I would say the developer that got Phil Spencer the most excited was Tango Gameworks. So when they introduced Tango, they asked Phil what he's excited about with this acquisition and everything. He says this: "I'm ready to go to Tokyo to go see Tango Gameworks, a studio which I have such respect for and a history of the creations there. I've talked for a long time about our desire to have more of a first-party presence in Japan. This is a great step there. Thinking about the map of where these teams are and talking about all the games they're working on, I can't wait to speak to Tango team and get to know them." So he says right there in that quote that they really want to have a bigger first-party presence in Japan. So if you think that Tango Gameworks is going to be the only first-party presence that Xbox wants, I would guess that isn't the case. I'm assuming and guessing here that Xbox wants more studios as first-party presence. And if you think about it, acquiring Sega would just be a massive presence with the IPs that they have, with the subsidiaries they have under them, like Atlas, with Persona. It would be a massive step forward for what Xbox wants to do in that market. So does this rumor have any legitimacy? I have absolutely no clue, but it is definitely fun to speculate about. We will see. I mean, if nothing happens, then we'll know it's not true. If something comes out, then we'll know that Asto was correct with this prediction, with this rumor. But anyways, guys, that's it for me. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Let me know what you think about this rumor continuously coming up. And do you think that there's any legitimacy to something happening between Xbox and Sega and Konami? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button if you are new here and you liked what you see throughout this video. I'd really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button to help this channel grow and help grow this community so we can have some great conversations in the comments below. Thank you again for watching. Thank you for your support, and I'll catch you in the next video.